Hello, and welcome to Body of Knowledge. We believe that the body helps make knowledge. I'm not making fun of myself. Well, I am making fun of myself. I'm not making fun of my research. I'm making fun of the fact that I am sitting here talking to myself. That's what I'm making fun of. Today's gonna be just a quick check-in. I'm holding this because I'm also boiling some water for some tea, and I don't know how loud that is. But today it's just gonna be a quick check-in. I only have a few minutes before class, kind of as a way to encourage myself. I don't know. I have been feeling not quite imposter syndrome, but definitely feeling a little bit unmoored. And I think this is so ridiculous and embarrassing, but I think it's because our department coordinator is also the department coordinator for the East-West Psychology Department, I think, and he shared something for prospective students, being like, if you're an activist, join anthropology. If you're a spiritualist, join East-West Psychology. And I'm like, oh my god, I think I'm a spiritualist. Am I in the wrong place? If I made the wrong choice, what am I gonna do? So that's where I am. So yeah, just basically still trying to figure out the health issues as I go forward, and just trying to remember that this is all an experiment. So like, what, 2 months ago I was thinking about time blocking and not listening to books at the gym, but also I've realized that one of the things that is actually making me feel good, one of the things that is actually getting rid of my headaches, is movement. So I've been spending more time at the gym and listening to my books there, and so far that seems to be helping, but I still have to figure out, the balance. So that's just like a little mini update there. Another update for the writing, like how am I writing when typing on the computer is giving me headaches. Handwriting, but also voice dictating. I have Speechify to help read my text to me, and it turns out it also has a fairly good dictation software. So I actually wrote a 3-page essay that I just turned in last week using voice dictation, and so I only needed to actively be on the screen for the editing process. So in that note, I just want, since today is what day is it? The 27th. So the month is nearly done. I don't think I'll finish any more books, so I just want to do a little wrap up of the books that I read or listened to in January. There's a lot of fiction. I was thinking about some of these books as a way to like keep up the habit of reading without the cognitive load. So I read 8 books in January. The first, I finished The Fires of Heaven, part of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. After this one, I needed a break from that world. I like that series, but also, just like sometimes you need a break from your roommate. So I took a pause after finishing that one. I think it's the fourth book of this series, and there might be 12 in total. I read Kin Lu's translation of Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, which also had some Shuangzi, I can't remember how to say that name, stories interwoven. I listened to that one. Mostly because I've been realizing in the last, I don't even know how long, but like a lot of my philosophies and beliefs are in alignment with the Tao. So wanting to learn more about that to see if that's true or not. So I listened to that. I listened to Survival is a Promise, the Audre Lorde biography by Alexis Pauline Gumbs. That was a big book, a long read. It was very good. I think of that one, even though Audre Lorde is a primary source in some of my work, I kind of thought of that one as more of a personal read. Then I was telling my advisor turned mentor, my advisor, mentor turned friend, words, that I needed a break from the Wheel of Time series, and she lent me Babel by R.F. Kuang, and that was very interesting. Also another big, dense book, so that was a good way to spend the break, and that one I physically read that book. I listened to Getting the Love You Want by Harville Hendrix and Helen Hunt. That one at first I was thinking is a personal read, despite everything, I'm still a romantic at heart, and when one day someone comes to win my heart, I want to be able to win theirs back. And so I think, doing some of the work and learning ahead of time is helpful. And also just outside of relationships, I find relationship books to be helpful. I am low-key afraid of everything and everyone, and so books like this help me realize everyone is a little bit afraid, everyone is a little bit anxious, everyone has problems relating to other people, especially in a culture where we're taught to be individualists. But going back to the anti-disciplinary approach, one thing that stood out to me in this audiobook, they were talking about anger and how I'm never going to tell anyone not to be angry, especially oppressed groups, marginalized groups who have been told they can't be angry or shouldn't be angry. But I do think my anger can hurt me and the people I care about. And one thing they said in this book was that our bodies don't know where the anger is directed at. So if I'm angry at someone else, my body takes it as anger directed at me. So I thought that was very interesting, especially when thinking about what fuels us. And that's another reason I like Audre Lorde's work, because we have the erotic as a source of fuel, which I think is much more sustainable rather than anger being a source of fuel. All right. So I listened to that one. I re-listened to that one. I also listened to a book called A Book Forged in Hell by Stephen Nadler. And I just started a class on Baruch Spinoza. And last semester I took a class on Merleau-Ponty, and I didn't feel prepared for it. So this was a book about one of Spinoza's books and kind of the culture and world that he existed in, and why it was so inflammatory, why it was so radical, as kind of a way to give myself some, I cannot think of the words that I'm wanting right now, background information before I go into the class, I don't know. So that one's on the list. And then my first book, actually for coursework, I listened to a book called Native American DNA by Kim Tallbear. And the class I'm taking is called Other Ways of Being Human. In this book, one of the things it explores is how empirical science, empirical data such as DNA, how limiting that is to creating a conception of self or community. And so I have that. I finished that book entirely in the gym over the course of 2 days, and then I'll be having class where we'll be in discussion and seminar on that book tomorrow. And then finally, I just needed some candy. So I listened to A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And it's an easy to read book. It's fantasy. It can take your mind off of things, but also you don't have to pay too close attention to it. So, so I got through 8 books in January. I'm just looking over at my list. And let's see, out of 8, 1, 2, 3 were fiction. And then 1 for coursework. So not bad, right? Not where I need to be. Also, I'm still struggling to do the cognitive work. So I went to the library to check out Survival as a Promise, and then I tried to spend some time doing my second read, and I just haven't been able to sit with it for the time that I need to. I think the answer is just time, that I need to give myself time to recover. Anyways, that's a quick update. I just wanted to check in and say that I am a spiritual activist. What an embarrassing thing to proclaim to the internet. Mostly because of the way I proclaimed it, but I can't take my words back. I could not post this video. That might happen too. Anyways, off to class I go. Next week I want to talk about the assignment that we did this week, the essay that I dictated, because I thought it was a really excellent assignment, and I shared it with a couple of people outside of my program, and they thought it was exciting too. So when I have more time, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it later this week. Anyways, until next time.